Welcome back, everyone. Thank you all for staying tuned in with us on No Longer Broken's first podcast. We are talking about unhealthy relationships and the reasons why we stay. We also have our special guest, Victoria Smith, Thoughts of a Black Girl. Check out those handles she got up there. So when we left off, we were talking about how families still keep the secrets, but I want to go in a little bit more deeper again with our youth that are involved in unhealthy relationships. As I mentioned, I actually work at a high school right now, so I've definitely got to see a lot of our youth experiencing being involved in unhealthy relationships, and again amongst the community. And that's really what's drawing me to have these conversations, because our teenagers and our college adults are being in unhealthy relationships. And a prime example, we all grew up loving, well, you know, our generation. I know my kids kind of started watching it, but y'all remember Different World, right?
Oh yes, Whitley.
So, but do y'all remember? But do y'all remember? So, by the time when Jada Pinkett came into the show, do y'all remember the episode when, I can't remember her name right now, but one of their friends, she was in an unhealthy relationship. He was being abusive. Mm-hmm. Yes, and I think her name was Gina. I think her name was Gina or something. But but so nevertheless, college student away at college. Her parents ain't nowhere nearby. So her friends started picking up, noticing that she was being abused. They wanted to address it, but again, what do a lot of us do? Oh no, it's fine. We kind of start blaming us or making excuses. But they were like, no. Especially Jada's character. She was like, no, this is going to be addressed and we're going to get this handled. And it was. And again, we don't have that, because especially when it comes to young adults and especially teenagers even more, they are definitely scared. And they don't know who they can trust, and they don't know where they can go. So I want to encourage people, if you see something, speak up. Go to your friend, go to your loved one and ask them, are they okay? Are they safe? And talk to them about finding resources to get them to a safe place. Because we all seen it on the news, and we've seen the different Lifetime movies and stuff. A lot of times they aren't being threatened if they speak up, that their lives are in danger, or the family members. But we all are turning a blind eye way too often, and we have too many people who are being abused in silence, and they don't know where to turn to get help. And again, it's not always have to be physical abuse. We have emotional abuse, we have verbal abuse, and we have again the cliques in the schools, being picked on and bullied, being left out, being alienated, excluded from being a part of events at the schools. And that again was something I was very adamant about with my children, and making sure A, that they were not that type of people. And then B,
that's number one, right?
A, that you're not that person. We will not exclude people. We will not treat people that way. But then also too, making sure that they're not being picked on in that level. And one of my daughters, I remember, it was like a winter like this. It was cold, and she was on the cheerleading team, and it was the end of the season, and there started being some issues with her. And the first, you get mad, just like, why am I getting these phone calls? Or why are you doing this? Why are you lying? Why are you not? Then it was like, something's wrong. And I found out that she was being picked on and bullied by this boy. He was in her class, but also on the bus. And so she chose to lie and say she had cheer practice to walk home. It was freezing below zero temperatures, and we had can't remember how many inches of snow. And so when I found that out, because she was scared, so she wasn't like lying to act out to be defiant, but she was scared because this guy, this other, and it was like middle school. Another,
it starts young. In elementary, it starts in middle school. And he was bullying her, so I had to reach out to the schools to like, hey, I need my child protected, but I was able to talk to her and say what's really going on. And then I did have to get firm with her, because of course she was like, nothing. I was like, you gonna tell me what's going on? If I got it, and it was like that, okay. And then she, shared, and then I was able to get it, resolved and handled in a proper way. We can't be going down in the schools acting for food. But, we do need to handle our business to make sure our children are safe. So this is why we want to have this discussion, because we have a lot more teenagers than we realize that are experiencing unhealthy relationships. Again, some of them are in dating unhealthy relationships. And and really in a time like this, teenagers are being a little even more violent. And I think it's because of the lockdown, the pandemic. They're doing, they're made to be restricted in their house at this computer all day.
besides the fact that, you should be getting out of school and then worry about dating, but unhealthy relationships, like you said, we stay in those, and right now in the pandemic, these teens need an outlet, which is why I'm so excited to be a co-host on your show, and we have a surprise. Actually, you have a surprise announcement coming up after the commercial break.
I do.
So I'm excited about that.
Again, welcome back, everyone. I'm so excited about this podcast. This is my first podcast, and I have my co-host, Terry Coney, my special guest, Miss Victoria Smith, with Thoughts of a Black Girl.
Yes.
So when we left off, we're going to talk about the special surprise I have. So, you know how we got these, what's that? Man Crush Mondays. We got Women Crush Wednesdays.
Yep. Throwback Thursdays.
Oh, very that Throwback Thursday. Well, we're going to start something new. We're going to give Tuesday a day. How about we're going to start Teen Crush Tuesday?
Yes.
Hashtag that. TCT. Yep, Teen Crush Tuesday. So, what I would like for you to do, parents or teens, young adults. So I know we're saying teens, but I want young adults to realize this is also for you. So when I mean young adults, our college students age, they come out of high school, 18, 19, 20, 21. Because I got two 20-year-olds that will be 21 next month, and I have a 25-year-old. So I'm a grown-up with grown-ups, officially. And my son is in the audience. So
yes,
son.
Yes. Twins.
Yes. So Teen Crush Tuesdays, we're going to focus on our teens that are crushing it. So if you're a teen that has a business, you have a talent or a gift, parents, if you got a teen who's just been crushing it out here, some type of sport they are involved in, a different group. My kids were involved in orchestra, band, the other one was in choir, so they did a lot of competitions in high school. So something positive. This ain't just, we posting pictures, I don't want all that, and I don't want all that. But something we want to promote our youth and their beautiful, wonderful talents and how they're crushing it. We got, again, people are struggling during pandemic, online learning. I'm doing online learning right now, and I had a couple of classes to do today, so I get that struggle. So we're going to hashtag TCT, Teen Crush Tuesdays. And I have, for a college student, I got a basket I'm putting together for essentials, because I know you guys struggle a lot. You might got scholarships for books and stuff, but you still need your essentials, your laundry detergent, stuff like that. High school students, and I mean high school, I'm not junior high or the elementary, high school students, because they get left out. The high school students and college students get left out the most when they need donations. So because last fall when school started, I sponsored 20 students at Ben Davis High School with a full of those thick binders that they got to have with all their supplies. So those are what we're going to be doing. So send those out. You can email me at blessedasiam17@gmail.com and we'll get those posted up for you.
Yeah, make sure you do that. And we want to sponsor our company, Entrepreneurs United LLC. We want to sponsor you a couple of hoodies for those teens. So make sure y'all get those. Yes, it's cold.
Yes.
So we're going to get them some Blessed As I Am hoodies.
Yes.
Their gift boxes. So yes, we're so proud of you. Congratulations on everything. Make sure y'all get them pictures in, because Jessica has some really hot things coming up for this year, 2021.
Thank you. So yes.
Get ready as we celebrate our first ever Teen Crush Tuesdays. We're honoring Ball State University freshman Marshawn Porter. Marshawn is majoring in telecommunications over at the Ball State University, where he also loves to sing and bake. Make sure you stay tuned, because this young entrepreneur is on the up and coming rise in the dessert industry. Make sure you check out Sean Fye Treat. Keep up the great work, Marshawn. Keep on crushing. And don't forget the hashtag.
Welcome back, everyone. with the last break we left off, we're going to talk about healing, but I would like to take a shout out again to acknowledge my sponsor, my daughter, for this beautiful jacket that she designed. She goes by Designs by Kiara Dominique. And I also just like to say, I'm just wearing some jewelry from a young lady out of Atlanta, Charmed by Monet. That is her handle on Instagram, Charmed by Monet. She is a young lady in Atlanta.
She's a teenager, right?
Yes. Yes.
A teenage entrepreneur, honey.
Yes,
crushing it.
Yes, crushing it.
That's really pretty.
Thank you. Yep, really she pretty. Makes these bracelets. So yeah. So Victoria, you were saying that when you met your husband when you were 18, because you were working at the strip club. My daughters actually shared with me too about them being experiencing friends that they knew in high school. Tell us a little bit more about that. About you had to make that choice, or why you made that choice in working at a strip club, at such a young age in that transition. Were you already a mom at that time or no?
I was a mom, and I was working at McDonald's, really, and it's really not a job.
The McDonald's.
I would say it's a teen job, but it's not a job that you can have when you're a parent.
Yeah.
Making at that time $5.15 an hour.
Oh yeah. Y'all crying over minimum wage now. Yeah.
Right.
I remember my $4 minimum wage.
People approach me and just tell me, like, you would be good if you was like, you could be a stripper, something like that. And I never even thought twice about it. But And at the same time, a lot of us young girls that desire to be famous and singers and movie stars, that's one of the desires I used to have. Part of my story, I talk about the trip I took at 17 to LA and ended up in Capitol Records. Like, hey, what do I need to do?
Wow,
right?
I just had that drive.
But see,
and
wow, that's a good point. So when you said you went to LA, one of the things we always hear is how the young girls get targeted when they're trying to get into the industry to have sex. Like, you got to make it, you got to do this, you got to do that. And so again, unhealthy relationships, because they see us as being naive and don't know any better. And so then they take advantage of that. And then our innocence is constantly being stolen slowly, one day at a time, because it's just like they see something in us, but at the same time, they see something in us that they can take advantage on and prey on. Right. And so that was what I was worried about as a mom. I didn't want my children to experience that innocence being stolen from them. And I remember always, talking to my children about, being touched. And I learned that I wasn't going to say the cookie, the flower pot. We was using terms, your penis, your vagina, and talking about it, because I also work in a school right now. And I actually work in a high school, but my last job for 9 years, I worked in a preschool. I've always wanted to work, in a school setting. But I learned that that's something that we've done in the community, that if you're talking to a 5-year-old, when you say a cookie means a cookie to them. Yeah. I don't care how much you try to say, that's your cookie pie, that's your flower pie. When somebody comes to say, let me play with your cookie, a child's mind, they don't comprehend like we do.
Right. Yeah.
They're not going to see that this is something that an adult or somebody should not be doing to me. And so we are coming up with unofficial terms. Well, they're 3, they're 5, and we're thinking we're helping them, but we're harming them. We are. Yeah. Instead of just being more upfront and honest, because they will understand that when you start saying, that is your penis, that is your vagina, that is your, I still haven't got the actual points to say about that, but talking to them about anus, they definitely gonna get what an anus is.
Right.
But to express to them about the importance of that, and saying, and then telling them, come tell me if this happened. Yeah. And then also saying,
like, I don't even care if you think it wasn't a bad touch. Just let me know they touched it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Because, and then I remember when they're at the hospital, when they go to the doctors, and the doctors, and then being able in those rooms and stuff, and the doctors say, like, I started analyzing, like, all these scenarios that our kids can be in.
Exactly.
Where they might not comprehend, is this one wrong or is this one right? Because we have sugar-coated so much of those terms and what that means, because everybody's scared to talk about it, and then that makes them scared to talk about it in the families. So everybody knows Uncle Junebug is molesting the kids. So instead of it being reported, everybody just don't let him keep the kids.
Right.
Well, how is that solving a problem?
Exactly,
Uncle Junebug needs help. He needs prison or mental something. Mm-hmm. He needs help. It needs to be put in a position where he's not around any kids, not just the family kids. But what about the kid next door?
Exactly,
I mean, so we just thinking, well, we don't talk about it. Or the one family who just runs away and says, that's why I left, and that's why I don't come around no more. So you're protecting yourself or your children, but what about, again, everybody else? So now everybody else is getting hurt, in the long run.
So we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we'll be live back in studio with talk show host Jessica Johnson on No Longer Broken. Don't go anywhere.
I am so grateful that you ladies joined in with me on this podcast. Please don't forget to send in your emails. You can also send us an inbox on Facebook and Instagram, Blessed As I Am. That is the handle on both. Also, if you want to contact Victoria, thoughtsofaBlackGirl.com. Mm-hmm. What is your, do you have a Facebook page or Instagram page?
Yes, everything is under Thoughts of a Black Girl. You can look up Thoughts of a Black Girl on Facebook, Instagram. It's definitely podcast platforms.
Okay.
Yeah, Thoughts of, and TOADGINC@gmail is a way to get in contact with me if you have questions, things like that.
Thank you. And Terry, what is your business?
You can contact me at Terry Croney on Facebook, or you can go to the website, soundsofshare.net. I do have a page on there where you can stay in tune with everything that we have going on, and you'll be able to check out the No Longer Broken podcast with Jessica Johnson over on soundsofshare.net, as well as her channel. I'm so excited to join you on this podcast, honey. This is so dope.
Thank you. So again, send in those topics. We'll be waiting for you. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in today to part 2 of Unhealthy Relationships and Why We Stay. You've been tuned in to No Longer Broken with Jessica Johnson. I'm your co-host, Terry Croney, and special guest, Victoria Smith. Make sure you stay up to date with us on Facebook and Instagram at Blessed As I Am, and make sure you stay tuned to soundsofshare.net.